Welcome into NFL Power Rankings. I'm Colleen Wolfe alongside three-time Pro Bowler MJD. He's also clairvoyant all of a sudden after predicting the Chiefs and Mercedes Lewis with the Jags. Hey now. And Elliot Harrison, you've been writing these rankings for 7 years now and just giving us something to argue about. It's wonderful.
Well, I tell you what, this week was the wildest week I've seen in 7 years. I've got multiple teams moving up 11 spots. I got another team that played MJD's former team. They went down 9, and a team you can't stand at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into the top 10, and of course that team, because I want to know about that, we want to hear from you. Whether or not you love the rankings or hate them, we're opening up the phone lines. Give us a call right now. That's right. 888-55-FRIENDS, because we're all friends. Or just tweet us using the hashtag NFL Power Rankings.
Actually, those aren't friendly calls.
That's okay. Maybe we'll get a few. Let's get into the top 10. And Elliot, the Chiefs are number 1 for the second straight week.
Yeah, I don't know how you couldn't have them number 1. They've been consistent. They beat the Patriots, like my esteemed colleague here called on kickoff night.
That's right.
Then they played the Eagles, a pesky team, in week 2. And this is a division road game. They could have come out flat. Instead, they handled the Chargers, and they did it with big plays from that dude right there.
Well, for me, I think they've drafted well, and that's what you're starting to see the fruits of those drafts. Kareem Hunt comes out and makes plays. Alex Smith is doing a good job not turning the ball over. But that defense, Eric Berry goes down, and they have guys stepping up making big plays for him right now.
Yeah, the Chiefs right now, they look great. Kareem Hunt, 10.1 yards per carry. But what about the Falcons? At number 2 right now, they almost got beat by the Lions and the Bears.
Yeah, they almost got beat by the Lions, but the Lions are not a bad team. The Lions are actually a really good team this year. And also, Atlanta came off a big win against the Packers, against the national audience. With the national audience. They go on the road against a good team. They could have come out flat. Instead, they win the game.
Elliot, this is where we disagree.
I thought you liked Atlanta.
Well, you moved up. I do like Atlanta, but you moved the Lions up for losing in a good game. So someone has to give and take here. You both can't breathe in or you both can't breathe out. Someone has to be the breath in and someone has to be the breath out. I don't like seeing the Lions going up 4 and the Falcons up 2. That's just not what it's supposed to be.
And look at the Packers there in the number 10 spot. They're barely hanging on in that top 10.
Big droppers, too, the Raiders, that performance Sunday night.
That's true. I want to talk about that number 3 spot, the Patriots. And MJD, what do you think about them there?
Well, listen. For some reason, Elliot just has an issue with dropping the Patriots past 3.
Elliot just rolled his eyes,
and that's okay. And my biggest issue is this. They go and they play at home twice. They don't play well at home. One, okay, you beat a Saints team that you're supposed to be, that everyone's been beaten up, except for the Panthers. But you have a rookie quarterback for the Texans, and you have to go to the last second to win? I can't have that. I think the Titans are a better team because the Titans beat the Seattle Seahawks, who've been really good. They've beaten the Jaguars after a big win, and they played the Raiders tough at home. This is a team that I want to see. This is, to me, is a number 3 team. They're better on defense. They have a better running game, and I'll give Tom Brady and Coach Belichick the coaching, but that's it. Everything else, I feel like the Titans are better.
I moved Tennessee up 8 spots.
That ain't enough.
8 spots.
That's not enough.
Okay, the Patriots, I didn't move up at all. I kept right where they are. But
that's not enough.
They have the best quarterback in the league who just threw 5 touchdowns. They won the game.
What about
they have
the
best
defense,
head coach.
though?
Yeah, the defense doesn't look good. You know how many good teams looked bad in week 3?
Can I tell you something? You know they say offense sells tickets, defense wins championships.
I agree. How many defenses played great in week 3 from the good teams?
The Jaguars. That's all that matters.
So now the Jaguars are better than the Patriots.
Yeah, they are.
Is running like a runaway bull. And it is complete for a touchdown. He reloads, and he has Zach Ertz intercepted down near the goal line. It's incomplete. It's broken up. It is deflected and intercepted by Patrick Robinson. Carson Wentz dipping and dodging and diving for 11 yards.
Merrill Reese with the call right there. A huge walk-off win for the Eagles, and now they're up 8 spots at number 6, Elliot.
They are. You know, they've been consistent. They've been one of the most consistent teams in the league, like Tennessee, like Kansas City. Okay, the first week, they beat the Redskins at their place. Okay, week 2, they lose a very tough road assignment in Kansas City, but they were in that football game in the fourth quarter.
They came back at the
end.
end.
And then this week, they beat a desperate team. The Giants were trying to save their season. They need to save their season. So what? The Eagles only won by a field goal. It's a division game against a desperate football team. By the way, Carson Wentz's mobility, very underrated.
Also, they have a run game now, so that's amazing.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
You know what? I'm from the Show You State, so let me show you. Let me slide this chair on that way and get over
Take
here.
out a camera on the way.
Okay? Because when you look at it, this may be the first time in history that Elliot got this completely wrong. Let's look at the rush offense, Elliot.
Yep.
Darren Sproles goes down. LeGarrette Blount's kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to give this to the Vikings. Dalvin Cook is doing a heck of a job right now running dual threat back. I love it. Pass offense, I know they went and got Alshon Jeffrey. I know they have some guys emerging. Zach Ertz is doing a great job. But I'm going to give it to the Vikings with Case Keenum. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, Stephon Diggs.
And neither one of those accounts for Carson Wentz's mobility, which would be kind of
Thielen,
come on.
Stephon Diggs, Kyle Rudolph.
What about the rush defense?
I agree there.
Defense, I don't know if we can ever do this on the first time. It may take some time, but I'm going to give them both to the Vikings. Go ahead, hit it one more time because the Vikings defense phenomenal, right? And so I'm sitting here.
They gave up like 190 some yards to the Eagles running back.
That's okay, and I think that's awesome. But then when I come back, I'm like, Zimmer, because he coaches with one eye. That's why I give it to him, because he's the best defensive line chair. Come right back to me.
I love Zim, but I can't agree with you on Eagles rush defense.
The first sweep ever. Yeah. You got that completely wrong. You're wrong on that one.
Where was the pass offense in Pittsburgh? Oh, yeah, it wasn't there.
It was the last second. Case Keenum didn't know he was starting until a minute before the game.
So you're taking Case Keenum over Carson Wentz?
Right now, yeah. 300 yards against the Tampa Bay Bucks, yes.
That's not overreacting.
Ooh, you guys can tweet MJD at NFL Power Rankings.
These DMs are closed. Don't tweet me.
Here are the 11 through 20 teams right now.
How about 16 there?
16.
The Rams, great offensive performance.
What a game that was Thursday Night Football.
Best of the weekend.
Okay, so what about the Broncos at 11? Because I thought that defense all of a sudden was so good the week before. Where are they now?
Yeah, really. And by the way, is Thursday still considered weekend? I'm going to say that it is. Right. Buffalo's defense, shockingly or not, #1 scoring defense in the league. This was an ugly football game that Buffalo controlled in the second half. That's why I dropped the Broncos. There was nothing fluky about this loss. The Broncos lost the game. I worry about them away from home.
It's always tough to face a mobile quarterback. I don't care how good your defense is. Tyrod Taylor showed that he's still a very good quarterback.
No
in this
Case Keenum, though.
No, he's not. He's not a Case Keenum.
He beat the Broncos. He beat that tough defense, something that Dak couldn't do.
Here's a look right now at 21 through 32. The Jets up 6 spots after this week's win.
The Cardinals, I mean, how much more do the Cardinals have to go?
Hey, how about the Jets getting a win 13 weeks before anyone thought they would?
Wow, the Dolphins down 12 spots. Sorry, Jay.
They earned it. The ugliest performance of the weekend?
Jay did what Jay does.
Another ugly performance from the Giants, though. They're 0-3 right now, and now they're ranked at 25.
Well, listen, I teased in a haphazard manner at the top of the show that a team you really don't like very much is at the bottom of the rankings. But, I did it in a haphazard manner because that's the way they've been playing, specifically quarterback. I mean, look at these throws. 2 more interceptions. Look at that play right there. I mean, MJD, am I saying anything wrong here?
You know what? I'm glad that you said it. I've been saying it all year long. Eli Manning has been playing horrible this year, and he has to step his game up. It's not Ben McAdoo. It's not the offensive line. When he has time, he's not connecting with his wide receivers.
There's a lot of teams falling from last week. Only the Saints moving up after they beat the Panthers. Of course, Chicago going up there.
I like this list.
Some of the teams, of course you do, you made it, are too high, and some of them are too low. I'm going to give you 3 teams, MJD, and you're going to tell me too high, too low. First up, the Seahawks at 17.
Too low. I was going to say too high because I was all excited.
You faked me out there.
It's too low. I think the Seahawks, they've improved offensively. Their defense had a lot of missed tackles. I don't think we'll see that. Russell Wilson's kind of coming into his own. I like what they're going to be building here very soon.
Now, wait a minute. In the meeting, you told me that the Seahawks offense only moved because the Titans defense laid off. It was garbage time. That's what you said.
Don't be a snitch.
Okay.
I don't know about that Seahawks offensive line.
Look at him. Look at Russell Wilson.
How about the Ravens at number 20?
Oh, that's too high.
After what we saw on Monday?
After that performance,
I dropped them 9 spots.
They should be at 34. If there was 34 spots in this situation.
Under University of North Texas, Mean Green, right below them?
Right, all the way. Right,
I think that
UCLA is right there, too.
Really, really good. Had a bad day.
Oof, a really bad
everything
day.
had a bad day.
Yeah, everything had a bad day. Teams have bad games.
How about this one here? The Texans at 23 after almost beating the Patriots.
They didn't move, and that's too low. They should be going up. When you have both the Falcons and the Lions go up with a good game, this was arguably a better game. And this young quarterback led them in Foxborough, this throw here in particular, to help them win. You can't do anything when you do your job as an offense to get going down the field and give your chance to win. The defense doesn't do it. That's too low. They should be higher.
I agree with MJD on this.
So then why didn't you do it?
Hey, you know what? You only have 117 spot. There's not, you don't get to put every team exactly where you think they are. This might be due for a market correction.
Wow, the Patriots, they gave up 400 yards to the Texans. Let's talk about the biggest movers and shakers of the week in Power Up, Power Down. The Redskins and the Bills were both up 11 spots. So we'll talk about Washington in just a second. But How about the Bills jumping here after the win over the Broncos?
Yeah, you might have heard me say earlier in the show when talking about the Broncos that surprisingly, if you ask people right now, hey, who's got the #1 defense in the league in terms of fewest points allowed? I don't think they'd say the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have been consistent. Their only loss was a 6-point loss at Carolina.
They played the Jets and they played the Panthers. Those are
but
two
not
of the
this
worst
week.
offenses in the league.
But
So no
not
matter
this
what
week.
happened this week, they are still going to be low.
They look good this week. I mean, maybe they aren't tanking after all. How about the Dolphins here? They lost to the Jets, and now they've dropped 12 spots.
I have a feeling that MJD is not going to disagree with me on this one. This was the ugliest performance, I thought, by a team. People wanted me to have them higher last week. I said, hey, give it more than 1 week. They'd only played one game, and we saw what happened.
Yeah, I'm actually going to disagree with you because they should have fell 200 spots. You don't do this. You don't go up here to a team that, I mean, guys are just doing things uncharacteristic of them. And I think Jay Cutler showed up who Jay Cutler usually is.
Yeah, even Adam Gase said that he's tired of the garbage offense. That team at number 7, is that too much of a market correction for the Redskins after they beat the Raiders? For more on that, here's MJD and Elliot with Balance and Power.
Yeah, Colleen, you're exactly right. This whole market correction thing, I mean, this is not Wall Street, Elliot. Yeah. So let's get right into it.
Beat the
When
Raiders?
I'm looking at both of these guys, you're right, they did beat the Raiders. And I'm looking at rush offense.
Yep.
I say Ty Montgomery. I say you see Chris Thompson. I'm going to give you Chris Thompson in that situation.
And Rob Kelly's coming back.
And he is coming back, but they're banged up. You got P-Ron hurt as well. These guys just aren't getting it done over here, and they have offensive line issues.
Yep.
But when I go to pass offense, I'm not even going to hesitate. I love Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep loving Aaron Rodgers. Now, we get to defense, and this is where it gets real tight. Rush defense.
Impressive.
Very impressive. But
Sunday.
these guys here have done a great job, and they've been playing through injury. I give them the run defense. I like their rush defense.
I'll do it on Mike Daniels. I'll agree with you.
Thank you very much. Now, pass defense, I'm going to give you Josh Norman.
Yes.
Because those guys did a great job of holding the Raiders receivers to 2 catches. But when it comes to coaching, only thing that matters to me is that bling. And guess what? I don't got it. And I know Coach McCarthy does. So I'm going to go ahead and give them coaching here. This is the truth.
Yeah.
This is the truth. So how are they ahead of them?
Okay, I think this is fair, but here's the deal. This one's really close, and this one's really close here that you gave to the Packers, I think, right now. Kirk Cousins playing well, but especially the rush defense.
Here's a look at some of the other notable games going on. You have the Lions and the Vikings, the Rams and the Cowboys. I'm excited for that one.
Yep.
Also, like we talked about, the Redskins and Kansas City. So, MJD, which game will have the biggest impact on next week's rankings?
You know what? The AFC South has become one of the toughest divisions in the league. I'm going Titans at Texans. A young quarterback and Watson stepping up huge. I think the Texans found their guy.
Who wins?
Can Tennessee keep going? I'm going to go ahead and go with the Titans win this one.
On the road. Wow.
On the road,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
What about you?
going to go with another division game myself. I like Detroit and Minnesota. Now, these two teams played wild games last year. The Vikings were winning. The Lions get past midfield. Prater hits a long field goal. And then they play on Thanksgiving. And that's when Darius Slay picked off Sam Bradford on one of the little dinks and dunks. But both games are really competitive. I think this game may go into overtime. I'm saying 23-20.
You mentioned Slay, too. What a great game he had last week.
Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan pulled the old Matt Ryan on
All
us.
deflections, but still, it was a good game for him. All right, finally, we're giving you 30 seconds. The clock already started.
Sorry, go. Let's go. Okay, Indianapolis Colts. Love that they signed Jacoby Brissett. They found themselves a backup. Chicago Bears. I love Cohen and Howard. Okay, New Orleans Saints. Nobody noticed that win. Bucks, big injury to Levante David. And finally, I got to tell you, the Jacksonville Jaguars, give them the credit. The defensive front is playing great. Calais Campbell was a great addition.
He was.
And I like Leonard
AJ
Fournette.
Bouye.
Limit Porter's pass attempts.
The Jags looked great. So, Elliot, thank you. Another great week of rankings.
Thank you.